Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are all having a blessed week. Hey, I want to talk to you for just a minute about a scripture in Ezra that I find kind of humorous. So, the king of Babylon had allowed them to return to Jerusalem, and they were rebuilding the temple, and it was almost done. So when the temple was almost completed, Ezra got together, and he had been telling the king, how great God was and how he needed to do this. So the king gave Ezra all kinds of gold, all kinds of silver. He went into the storehouses of Babylon. They got out the records to see what all was carried away 70 years prior. And he gathered up that vast amount of treasure, and he gave it to Ezra and the priests to return to the temple at Jerusalem. And one of the reasons he did that was because Ezra never let up. He kept telling him how great God was and all the wonderful things that God could do. God was all powerful. He could do anything. So Ezra was planning this trip, and the king gave him all this vast amount of wealth. So they have to make a trip, and that trip is 671 miles through some very hostile country. It's all a band of marauders, thieves, ambushes along the way. I mean, it wasn't like Rome when Rome had the Roman roads. It was very hostile, very dangerous. So the king gives Ezra all this wealth, and him and his band of priests. All of a sudden, Ezra realizes, oh man, I've been telling the king this whole time what a great God we serve, and he's able to do everything. Man, I can't really go to him and ask for a couple of bands of soldiers to protect us now, can I? And Ezra 8:22, this is what it says. Ezra says, "For I was ashamed to require of the king a band of soldiers and horsemen to help us against the enemy along the way, because we had spoken unto the king, saying, the hand of our God is upon them that do good and seek him, and his power and his wrath is against all them that forsake him." So he realized, man, I done bragged on God so much I can't ask for help. So what'd they do? They were in total fear. It says, so we fasted, and we besought God for this, and he entreated for us. So when they were fearful, they turned to God in prayer. And you know what? When all you have left is God, God is always enough. So off they went on the trip. Ezra 8 verse 31 goes on to say, "Then we departed from the river Ahava on the 12th day of the first month to go to Jerusalem. And the hand of our God was upon us. And he delivered us out of the hand of the enemy and such as lie in wait along the way." So they obviously saw a lot of danger along the way, but nobody touched them. Now, what can we get from this story? Well, I'll tell you what. Do you complain in front of other people? I mean, do you sit there and tell people that you're a born-again Christian, God takes care of you, God does everything, and then 5 minutes later you're complaining about everything? Just like Ezra, it does no good to boast about God and then turn around and complain about it. You need to do exactly what Ezra did. The things you complain about, they're fears that are within you. You need to take all those complaints, all those fears, and turn them over to God. Let God handle them. People, Christians, should not be complaining. They should be praying. Anyhow, I just want to give you something to think about. Heaven or hell, you choose. Just remember, once you take your last breath, It's a done deal.